Hi mathematicians, I want you to try the problems in these do now. It says write yes or no to say whether each of these is equivalent to 6 3/4. And that word equivalent we know means equal. Even has equal right in there. So go ahead and pause the video, try them out, play back when you're ready to see the answers. So for this first one, you should have said no, because 24 divided by 4 is exactly 6. On this next one, you should have said yes, because 3 times 2 is 6, but we have to multiply mixed number. You multiply both the whole number and the fraction. 3 times 1/4 is 3/4. So those are equal. Okay, this next one's a little bit tricky. Do you remember our subtracting by mixed numbers, our rule? We always do fractions first. So I look at this, it's like I have 0/4 minus 1/4. I can't do it. So I'm going to borrow from the 10, make that 9, and I want fourths, so I'll call it 4/4 instead of a whole, minus 3 and 1/4. And now I'm starting to see it. Okay, 4/4 minus 1/4 is 3/4. 9 minus 3 is 6. So in fact, yes, those are equivalent. And now when we're adding fractions, like nice, we can do that in any order. So I'll add my whole numbers first and then my fractions. 3 plus 1 plus 1 is 5. 1/4 plus 2/4 is 3/4. So no, that was not equivalent. What this exercise shows you is that a number, or mixed number in this case, like 6 3/4, can be written many different ways, right? It could have been written as 3 times 2 and 1/4, or it could have been written as 10 minus 3 and 1/4. And today you're going to get to be creative and come up with different names for different numbers. So here's your challenge. I want you to use all 4 operations to write equivalent names for these numbers. And I'm going to show you a couple. There's infinite number of possible answers, but I'll show you what I was thinking. So a rule is we have to use all 4 operations. So there's something you need to know before we do that, and that is called the order of operations. And those are rules that guide which operations we are allowed to do first and which ones we have to do later. There's a fun acronym that helps us remember this called PEMDAS. And you'll hear this all throughout 5th grade, middle school, and beyond. PEMDAS stands for parentheses exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. Now the parentheses and exponents I don't want you to worry too much about this year. In 4th grade, we're not going to focus on those. But you need to know that multiplication and division come before addition and subtraction whenever you're solving a problem. So I'm going to apply the order of operations as I work today. So if I write things out, I'm going to write my multiplication and division first because those come first. Now there's little tricks, you could write them later, but then you'd have to use parentheses if you want them to be done first. But again, for our purposes, we're just going to make sure we keep in mind that multiplication and division come first and addition, subtraction come after that. So, I have, read this number with me on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, 3,256. The sky's the limit on how we solve this, but I'm going to start off, I'll use multiplication and say 3 times 2,000. I can keep that in my head. It's just an extended fact, so I know that's 6,000. Okay, then I'm going to divide 6,000 divided by 2, because I know that will get me back down to 3,000. And now I still need to use addition and subtraction. Well, what if I'm at 3,000 through all of this, right? This was 6,000. divided by 2 brought me to 3,000. So now I can think, okay, let's add 300, or sorry, let's add 260, and then just take away 4. So those are going to be my final steps. Oops, 260. I came up with a really cool new name for 3,256. That is equivalent, all of that full beautiful expression. Okay, let's try it with a decimal now. Read this decimal with me on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 38 hundredths. And well, I'm going to start with some division this time. And division and multiplication go together, so you could do them in either, whichever one comes first, you're going to just do that one first. So let's see, I'm going to do, let me do 20 divided by 5, because that would get me down to 4. And then maybe I'll multiply by 3, because I know 4 times 3 gets me back up to 12. Okay, so now I'm at 12 and I need to get to 4 and 38 hundredths. So what if I subtracted 10? We'll subtract 10, and now I'm down to just 2. Okay, so I just have addition left to use, and I know all that's left over is 2 and 38 hundredths. Check out this cool name for 4 and 38 hundredths. Pretty awesome. So now I challenge you to come up with a new name of your own for each of these numbers in problems 5 and 6, trying to use all 4 operations. Later in the activities, you won't be asked to use all 4 operations, but you can if you want. So challenge your brain and be creative, and most importantly, have fun.